It's one of those catch-22s where you are telling everybody that the sky is falling, and it sounds so ridiculous that nobody believes you, but it's so important that they get it that it just drives you insane.
This is the reason right here. I want to start a petition to Richard and be like, yo, dude, like we should be able to talk about Watsa, Icosa, and Hedron in the Hex chat. I think it's better for Hex and the entire ecosystem if all of us here, when we want to talk and everything, that we're like in the Hex chat. And then if the Hex chat gets kind of stupid or whatever, like we can always go back to Icosa chat. But I find it very strange if you're a newbie coming into the system, you don't know what Icosa is, you don't know what Hedron is, and then you see 0 people in the Hex chat, and then you come over here and you see 15 now, and like Hexecutioner isn't here. When Hexecutioner's here, there'll be 35, 40 people. And the Icosa chat is what, 1/5 the size of the Hex chat? Like, I think that we need a petition to Richard. I think that like it's okay to talk about these things.
Yeah, I don't know. I trust his judgment. I'm not very good. Like he's been running communities for 5 years. If he thinks that maybe for some reason, like he doesn't want someone who sees Hex, joins the channel, and then gets distracted by Hedron and Icosa and gets wrecked. I think it's fair to say that Hedron and Icosa are for advanced Hex users at the moment.
I think that like if you understand Watsa and you want to buy some, there isn't a problem with it, right? It brings in more people and Trojan horse argument and everything, but it makes Hex more bullish. Do you know what I'm saying? And like buying up Watsas. He even he used to only buy for $2 per million. I saw him recently buy one for $3, and it was only $500. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think a lot of people, I would never. There was a point where I was like, oh, I'm not paying $3. I could put bids in, but now like, if there's something for $3, I'd probably buy it. I think like it would take less than a year to be double your money. Bare minimum, I think it'll be much higher. I'm taking this kind of serious because I kind of get a feel for what's going on. Like now we could see a whole bunch listed. Maybe after maybe auctions aren't as impressive or people don't like the art, so there is that chance of the price going down. But like I think that anything under $3, you're going to make some good money within a year. For I just always like to I think 90 days. 90 days from now, even. Yeah, 90 days from now. Sure. I think we could see $5, $6 per million points. Especially if we start seeing a rise in Hex.
That's what I'm banking on. Is for one, I think that the value of these NFTs, I think they're being priced solely based on what Icosa is inside of them right now.
No, they're going for much higher.
I think the price of the NFT is going to triple on November 13th or whatever, just because it made such a big payment.
I still like think that I almost missed Watsa. I'm so blessed that I got to talk to you guys in here. You guys, I think, are changed my life forever with the Watsa call out, and I would like to think maybe not, and I lost this money or whatever. Like that's fine too. But like I think that this is I think that this is going to be so big.
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to look back in 10 years and I'm still going to be mad that I waited until what I thought was the last day to get in the Wata, and it was actually it ended the day before. So I was going to put like 20 grand into a Wata, and yeah, that's the only reason I didn't do it. And then the next day they were all like triple the price of what they should have been.
Yeah, they rose really quick. I didn't even get to min either, dude. I feel like so retarded because I was so worried. I was still trying to wrap my head around Icosa Hedron. I guess I'm slow, but I was really trying to grasp the numbers and payouts and everything that Watsa was the last thing on my mind.
That was the thing. Yeah, I was testing. I put like $1,000 in each pool, and I was like, like seeing, doing the actual math. Okay, which pool is paying the most? Well, the Watsa pool is not paying that much, but either Watsa could be worth a lot. And then I was like, on the last day, I'll purchase one. I'll purchase one big one because I do have one that's like 4 billion, and another one that's like 3 billion. But I wanted to do a really big one.
See, the problem is if you get big ones, you always have to sell them lower than the typical sale because people buy in bulk and they get a discount, and your audience is a lot smaller. So it would have actually been more like better to like, if you got all your gas for nearly free, if you did like a large like a whole bunch of like $100 ones or $500 ones. You know what I'm saying? Looking back.
Yeah, that's weird. I would never have known without. Um,
Yeah.
since there just aren't as many people that are going to be able to buy that NFT.
Hey, the Icosa looks pretty good at the moment. Looks like there's a little premium on it, huh?
It's a really high premium. Well, I mean, I had to redo the math because the hex went up. So it's it's a 2x. I think it's at least a 2x if it was day one minted. Right?
Yeah, but I'm looking at the value at the moment. You could actually, this only lasts for a couple minutes, and it looks like they're selling the price back down. But we're almost at 160, and the ARB price or the ceiling price is 153, and it's at 159. I find this kind of fascinating, that it doesn't get more out of whack, Hey, so what's your take profit plan? You don't have to give me specifics. Just let me know that you have a plan.
Dude, I don't because I missed out on minting, but like I got I got a couple good deals on some Wattses that I had to buy. And for $2 per million points, that's a steal. That's like a 50% gain right there. And I went unreasonably long for an NFT project, and I don't know, but I don't want to sell my Wattses. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I was questioning this. Everything here is so good. Like my cash out plan is just kind of sell my mintable Hedron and my smaller Icosa stake Hedron, and like just cash out my Hedron and then hold my Wattses.
My plan is that the Wattses or the Hex ecosystem's gonna 100x in the next bull market. I'm gonna try to sell mine somewhere around that maybe $5 Hex or something.
It's a pretty high number.
We are still pre-viral. We don't know what Hex could do. If you compare it to Bitcoin, I think it was like what, $10?
Have you guys seen lookintox.com? That's a really good comparison.
Yeah, that's the site I'm talking about. And I think Hex is like way better than Bitcoin. And it's like we did the 10,000x faster than Bitcoin. So dude, we could go even higher. Like seriously, there's a lot of money out there now.
I think Hex has a way higher ceiling because our market cap compared to our volume and our amount of users is insane. Like the market cap to user ratio is that's our best metric. People think it's a metric that makes us look bad because it means that it's overvalued or something, but I think it's a good thing that the less you can have a really high market cap with a very few amount of people using it, which means you only need to onboard a few people to get another 2x or whatever. And so Bitcoin's all-time high is first bull market in Bitcoin went to $30. Second bull market in Bitcoin went to $1,500. So if you compare that's like a 50 something x between those two all-time highs. And if you compare that to Hex, our last all-time high was 55 cents or something. Multiply that by 50 and you get like $15 could be our next all-time high if it performs just as good as Bitcoin. And I think it could do better because the fundamentals are so much better than they are in Bitcoin. But it's also on track performing better than Bitcoin has since its inception. If you compare the inception of Bitcoin to the inception of Hex, chart them back to back, Hex is outperforming Bitcoin. Even not just today, but in the first year of Bitcoin, it did not perform as well as the first year of Hex.
I think that this entire notion of locking up your money, especially after everyone got so fucking wrecked in this last bear market. Like, let's hope to God. I doubt people will learn, but like maybe we could all pray together and say, God, please make people not give their keys and all their money away to people. Dude, if all that yield came into here, like what was it? Celsius, I think, had like 10 or 20 billion dollars of assets under management. There's a lot of money out there looking to earn yield safely and not get wrecked.
I've noticed that there's a lot more money flowing. Well, yeah, I mean, the volume today is insane in the bear market. Hex's volume is insane compared to what it was in 2020.
And it's not like all that money disappeared. Some of it did, and it ended up in, Mashinsky's hands right before bankruptcy. Crazy. And like that money was just transferred elsewhere. All of that money is still looking probably to earn yield. I explained the burning and stuff. He was still like stuck on layer 1 being like, oh, this is an NFT rather than a cryptocurrency.
Maybe call it a bond and then let them know that it's the first time something like this has been done.
Yeah, I didn't really have time. Trying to explain Hedron and Icosa is the first part, right?
That's like, tough enough on its own.
Yeah. And like he's all in. Like, dude, he bought some Hedron. I don't know if he got Icosa. He might have, but if not, like he was planning on it. Like he's holding liquid hex, so it's like his stake just ended, and I'm trying to convince him to go into the Icosa pool. But like he even told me, he was like, Mike, you definitely know more than me. He's like, but you do this all the time, and he's like, let me tell you, my head hurts after hearing about Hedron and Icosa. And I'm like, fair enough. Like too much information.
I hear that a lot when I talk to people about crypto. And sorry, I overwhelmed you a little bit.
My most successful thing is just like, hey, I made you 30x last bull market, so just trust me again.
Dude, and that's what I told him. He was like, I don't know, man, it's an NFT, and he's like, I don't want to put, he has money. He told me how much money he has, like just cash, just kind of like chilling. And I'm like, yo, dude, like, put in $1,000. And it was reasonable. It wasn't like his entire stack. It was like 5% of what he had. And like, he was like, no, man, I'm just not gonna, it's an NFT. I don't know. And I was like, Brian, why are you even arguing with me? Because all the calls that I've made for his portfolio was actually like really good. He didn't listen to me on a few things. I'm not saying that was like bottom top guy perfect or anything, but I made some really good calls. He's very happy with his investments. And it's like, dude, I was like, you don't have room to fucking argue with me. I was like, just put one into your portfolio. You'll be really happy. And he's like,
It's funny because the people who used me to buy the top last bull market want to give me more money, and the people who made 30x are like they're not giving me as much money as they gave me last time. Some like weird psychological thing where they like the more money I made them, the less they trust me, and the less money I made them, the more sunk costs they have, and they want to give me more money. Bear markets are really hard on my mental health because I'm low on cash. Everyone's telling me to sell the thing that made me fucking 50x last bull market, and we're like we're the bottoms in, and we're gonna go back to another 100x or something. And just people trying to fuck with my money, and I'm like, hey, I'm the one that's a multi-millionaire. Don't fucking, you should be listening to me.